Welcome back to the second hour of our program. So, John Eastman, this is how close we came. The Eastman memo. Those of you who are regular viewers of this program or listeners to this program, know that, or may probably remember that back well over a year ago. In fact, I think it was almost 2 years ago. I did a deep dive into the Hayes-Tilden election of 1876, when Rutherford B. Hayes went up against Sam Tilden. Hayes was the Republican, Tilden was the Democrat. Tilden actually won more votes, popular votes, and Tilden actually won more electoral college votes, so he should have become president. But the problem was that there were 4 states, 3 southern states, Louisiana and 2 others. I forget which ones they were. I believe it was Louisiana, Georgia, and Alabama, but I could be wrong. But anyhow, 3 southern states and Oregon. And that these 4 states submitted 2 sets of electoral votes. There was the official set that the people who controlled the state submitted and said this is the actual result of the election. And then there was also another, quote, official set, although it didn't come through the state, it came through the state legislatures from the opposition, shall we say, in those state legislatures, who were saying, in the southern states, they were saying, we're still occupied by the Northern Army from the War of Northern Aggression, and therefore we're submitting 2 slates of electors. And in Oregon, we were occupied by the Ku Klux Klan at the time. And so they submitted their own slate separate from the one that the states submitted. So the bottom line was that the election got thrown to the House of Representatives under the 12th Amendment. And in the House of Representatives came up, they put together a committee to decide what to do, and what they decided to do ultimately was stab African Americans in the back and make the guy who lost both the electoral vote and the popular vote, Hayes, make him president. And in exchange for that, they would end Reconstruction. That was the deal. The election of 1876, it was also the death of Reconstruction. And I did a deep dive into that. I had not known that much about it, but I read some just extraordinary histories of that. And I wrote a long piece for that probably one of these days I should repost over at Hartmann Report. I'm pretty sure that there's a transcript of it over at thomhartmann.com. And it got published on Salon and Raw Story and Alternate and whatnot, about how the Republicans might be thinking about doing the exact same thing, trying to throw the election to the House of Representatives. And nobody took me seriously. I mean, I had Democratic politicians on this show. I had Tom Perez on this show. And I laid it out for him, and I said, ran the DNC, and I said, what do you think? What are you going to do about it? And he said, I don't, yeah, we're looking into it. Like, kind of brush me off, right? Well, now comes out this memo, this John Eastman memo, that was in the White House, that was given to Mike Pence. It says, number 1, VP Pence should begin to open the count and ballots, starting with Alabama. When he gets to Arizona, he announces that he has multiple slates of electors, and so he's going to defer a decision. At the end, he announces that because of the ongoing disputes in 7 states, he is going to throw this to the House of Representatives. In the House of Representatives, the vote shall be taken by the states. There are 26 states that are Republican-controlled in the House, compared to 24 that are Democratically controlled. And he said to block the Senate from doing anything about it, Ted Cruz or Rand Paul should demand normal rules of order, in other words, the filibuster, and poof, Donald Trump gets to be president. I have been saying for more than 2 years that this is the strategy that the Republicans were planning on using for 2024, and now we have the proof. We actually have the memo in the White House that this Republican lawyer, John Eastman, came up with. And Mike Pence wanted to do it. He called Dan Quayle and, there's got to be a way I can do this. And Dan Quayle was like, no, don't even think about it.